Hi everyone, and welcome to your month 3 back pain program. This is your strength class. So we've got a fast-paced strength exercise class coming up today. Some new exercises that we've not done before, definitely some more challenging ones. So we don't need any equipment, so we'll jump straight in. So we're going to stand with our feet shoulder width apart, toes facing forward. We're going to have our hands out in front, slight bend in the knee, coming down for our classic squat exercise. We're going to slowly push the bum back, down to the bottom, driving up through the heels to standing. And again, as we go for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, last one here. Coming up, giving the legs a shake out, standing lengthways along the mat, have a lunge forward with our right foot, sliding that back foot backwards into a deep lunge position, having the hands on the hips, slight bend in the front knee, lowering the back knee down to the floor, or as far as comfortable, and raising up as we go for 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last one here. As we come up, bring that left leg up and then lunging backwards with the right. Shuffling it far back, coming into that deep lunge. Slight bend in that front knee, dropping that back knee down and up. For 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last repetition there, coming up. Give those legs a wiggle and a shake out. So we're going to stand lengthways along the mat now as we look up to the ceiling and down to the floor. Up to the ceiling and down to the floor. Tucking the chin into the neck. We're going to bend the head down, the neck, the mid-spine, draping the fingertips down the front of the leg, all the way down to the toes. Bending the knees at the bottom, rolling the hands down the length of the mat, coming into our all-4 kneeling position here. From this position, we're going to bend our left knee up so that our hip and knee is roughly at about a 90-degree angle. We've got our big glute muscle on the left side. We're going to clench that glute as hard as we can, and as we do so, we're going to kick up and down. So if you imagine you've got a scaffolding pole coming out of your left heel, you're going to really explosively power that heel up to punch a hole through the ceiling. So we're going to go for 10 repetitions here. So we're going to kick up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. That is a burner of an exercise. Resting that left knee down, same on the right hand side. Hip and knee roughly up to 90 degrees, squeezing that right glute, kicking that left heel up for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Rest that knee down. So from here we're going to bring both knees down the mat, slowly lowering ourselves onto the floor. We can rest the forehead on both hands, and then from this position here, a bit of a nicer exercise coming up. We can squeeze both glutes and relax them off, squeezing the glutes and relaxing them off. And that's the principle that we're going to take into this next exercise. So we're going to keep both legs completely straight. I'm going to squeeze both glutes forcibly together. As we do so, we're going to raise both legs up off the floor around 2 or 3 inches. And we're going to really squeeze those glutes to keep them held in the air. We're going to hold that there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax off the glutes, lower the legs onto the mat. Got one more repetition to do there. So we're not really extending our back to do this one. It's all coming from the activation and contraction of our glute muscles. So we're just going to squeeze them together and relax and squeeze and relax. So for the next one, we're going to squeeze them together. Really squeeze as we lift the whole leg off the floor, both legs from toe all the way to the top of the thigh. As we keep the glute squeezed, we're going to hold that there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax those legs down. And you can just wiggle the hip up and down, tilt the pelvis back and forth, getting some blood flow back to those glutes. And we'll just take 5 seconds there before we move on to the next exercise. Great, so from here we're going to roll over onto our right hand side. We're going to have our body straight as a pencil, so all in a straight line. We're going to have our bottom arm facing the line of sight, palm facing up. And we're going to place our top hand on our top hip. So from this position here, keeping both legs completely straight, we're going to raise our left leg up into the air, creating a bit of a scissor motion or a V shape, and slowly lower it back down. And that's the principle of this exercise here. We're working on a smaller glute muscle at the side of the hip, and we're going to go for 20 repetitions here. So try and keep the time and pace with me as you go up and down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. For these last ones, you're probably going to start to feel a bit of an ache or fatigue coming down the side of that left leg. Really try and power through for the last 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Relax that leg down. Have a roll over onto the back. We're going to use our arms to prop ourselves up into a long sitting position. So having both legs straight on the floor, and you can imagine that we've got 3 belts on the legs strapping us down to the floor so these legs can't come up. So from here we're going to place both hands on opposite sides of the shoulders. I'm going to sit up nice and tall. From this position here, we're going to slowly start to lean back until we find a point where a bit of a shape comes on. You'll feel like your abdominals need to work very hard to maintain that position. Once you've found that point, we're going to hold that there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, really power through that burn, 2, 1, coming up. 2 more repetitions to do. This time see if you can get a little bit further back. So we're going to lean down into that point of bind, really working the abdominals hard. Get as far down as you feel able. Feel that bit of a tremor almost come on, shaking every direction you can think of, and hold it there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Coming up, last repetition to do. We'll have 5 seconds breather here. So just as it's really important to work the muscles in our back, in our legs, and our spine and hip and pelvis, it's just as important to have really strong abdominals, as everything works in sort of synchrony. So you really need to work on our abdominal strength as well. But it can be quite aggravating in back pain, so this is why we left it a bit later on in the course, but it's something that we do need to work on. So we're going to come down into our last repetition for this exercise, keeping the legs straight and glued to the floor. Try and lean back as far as you can for this one, keeping the hands on opposite sides of the shoulders, finding that point of bind, or that point of tremor where the abdominals are working that hard, they're shaking all over the place. Hold that there for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring those abdominals up. You can curl the legs, relax the hands under the hamstring, just offload the abdominals there. Let's take a deep breath in and exhale out. And deep breath in and exhale out. So from here we're going to swivel around to the opposite side, having a lie onto our left hand side here. We're lying flat as a pencil, or straight as a pencil even, having our bottom arm in line of sight, palm facing up, top hand on our top hip, as we go for our 20 repetitions here, working onto our small glute at the side of the hip. So we're going for 20 repetitions, try and keep the pace and time with me. So we're lifting that up into that V shape and slowly down for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That burn's already coming on for me. Got another 8 more to do. And 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Last repetition here. As we do that, we're going to have a roll over onto our back for our last exercise down in this position here. So we're going to go for our single leg shoulder bridge thrust. So for this one, we're going to have our left heel fixed down onto the floor. We're going to have our right leg kicked out straight, or you can just relax it bent as long as that right heel's off the floor. So from here, we're going to squeeze our glutes, and then just using our left glute, we're going to push down onto our heel, lifting the hips up. And we're going to do for 8 repetitions on each side. So just on this left to start with, we're going to thrust up for 1, 2, 3, 4, we're squeezing that glute, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Swapping sides over, right foot fixed onto the floor, left foot just dangling for 8 repetitions here. Squeezing the glute, thrusting up for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Relax those legs down. Let them just seep heavy down into the floor. You can place the hands on the lower tummy. As before we go up to standing, we'll just take 15 seconds of deep breathing. So take a deep breath in and exhale out. And deep breath in and exhale out. And in and out. And last one here, deep breath in and relaxing deep breath out. So from here we're going to start to make our way up into our standing position as we finish off for our slow squat exercises. So we've got 3 repetitions to do here. So we're going to have our feet shoulder width apart, hands out in front, and our toes facing forward. We're going to push the bum back slowly down for 3, 2, 1. Holding here for 3, 2, 1, and 3 on the way up. 2 more to do. Keep the pace and time with me. Nice and slowly down. Coming far down into that squat. Holding there for 3. And slowly up. Last repetition to do. Nice and slow on the way down. Holding here though for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. 3 seconds up for 3, 2, 1. Great. So kick those legs out, get some blood flow to those legs. So really good strength class there, working on all sorts from our glutes, our thighs, our hamstrings, our back and pelvis to our abdominals. So really good all round class there. Hope you enjoyed it.